Greetings, mere mortals! Against all odds, we found another G.I. Joe figure for Monster Month! Well, sort of. It is a G.I. Joe figure, and it isn't a G.I. Joe figure.
So meet Dhalsim. This figure was released in 1993 as part of the Street Fighter II subset of G.I. Joe with all original body parts.
Really? I'm gonna have to check this.
Yes, really, all original body parts. It's a Halloween miracle. Hasbro actually spent some money on new molds for a subset. It is true that most of the figures from this line used older G.I. Joe molds with a new head, but there were a few lucky ones like Dhalsim who did get the effort put in.
But what makes this guy monstrous?
Well, he's got a necklace of what looked like monkey skulls. And his eyes are pure white, so there's definitely something up with him. The first question to ask is, does the figure resemble the character from the game? I'd say yes. Comparing it to the pixel art tells you they did a pretty good job. Far better than some other times they made video game characters. Looking at you again, Sonia. Hell, they did a better job than Street Fighter the movie.
As for the toy, the detailing is nice.
He's got an angry look on his face, and the aforementioned skulls on the chest are nicely done. Since he's, well, mostly nude, they made sure to do a good job sculpting the muscles. And he does have wristbands and, shin bands, I guess. His pants look like he got shipwrecked on a deserted island. One bad thing regarding the detailing is that he's barefoot, but his toes are badly sculpted, making it look like some of them are fused together. Now, although this is an original mold, he could be classified as being part of Ninja Force, since they gave him a real action gimmick. His right arm can be pulled back and it will spring forward. This is called the Fire Fist,
which is not part of the character's moveset in the game.
This also means that, like with Ninja Force, due to the gimmick, there's no hole in his back for a screw, so there's no easy way to repair the figure like a regular G.I. Joe. His accessories aren't really worth talking about, since they are on a generic weapon tree and all previously used molds that have nothing to do with the character.
Oh, I just knew Hasbro was gonna cheap out somewhere.
Overall, it's a good figure on its own, and I like it, but man, does it look weird next to actual G.I. Joe figures. And considering what some of those are like, that is saying something. Yeah, though I think the Street Fighter figures are cool, they should have been their own thing, like the Mortal Kombat figures, and not part of G.I. Joe.
And hey, I think Hasbro agreed with me.
As Dhalsim did get a second figure, a complete repaint of the first one, as part of the Street Fighter the movie line that was separate from G.I. Joe. The figure looks nothing like the movie version, so they just gave him a lab coat accessory and called it good.
Now, let's take a look at the character, starting with the file card.
Yes, all Street Fighter figures got G.I. Joe-like file cards. The first and most baffling thing you notice is that he's the yoga fighter, and his fighting style is yoga.
That's not a martial art.
That's like having a Joe whose combat vehicle expertise is riding a unicycle. Okay, look, the character and the name were made in Japan, where apparently they wanted the character to be memorable, and since they made him be from India, they leaned into the stereotype, hence yoga.
No, it doesn't make any freaking sense.
This does tie into his moveset, where his mystical yoga powers give him the ability to stretch out his limbs and even his neck to great lengths. Just like real yoga. He can also shoot fire out of his mouth, though that's supposed to be an illusion so real it can actually hurt you. Of course, none of this stuff made it to the action figure, but to be fair, that would be pretty difficult to do unless they made a G.I. Joe sized Stretch Armstrong type figure. Hence the Fire Fist action instead. Though the card does still refer to his elastic limbs in the awesome attack moves part of the card. Anyway, he uses yoga to try and achieve enlightenment, but must test his skills.
So that's what a fighting tournament is for, I guess.
He knows he can't match the brute strength of some of his opponents, so he uses his abilities and patience to keep them at bay and wear them down to achieve victory. He's a good guy, though, and never hurts his opponents more than is necessary to win. So, even if Street Fighter had fatalities, I guess he wouldn't get one. He also has a motto: I will meditate, then destroy you.
Like I said, nice guy.
To expand a bit on the character, let's go to the wiki, shall we? Though he is a pacifist, he still entered the tournament to raise money for his poor village.
That seems to be his thing.
He wanders the earth earning money to make life better for the people back home. His figure still makes him look like an evil mofo, though. In the cinematic opus that is Street Fighter the movie, they made him a scientist who's Bison's prisoner. I believe the only reason for this is that they were mandated to cram every single Street Fighter 2 character in there by Capcom, Dhalsim being the weirdest example of all. And that was Dhalsim, one of the more outlandish Street Fighter characters, and that's saying something. I still don't get why the monkey skulls. They never seem to come up in my yoga classes.
Until next time, mere mortals. I hope you didn't find this entry for Monster Month too much of a stretch.